In today's episode of our Photoshop tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the entire design workflow on how I created this stunning social media poster using Adobe Photoshop. If today is your first time on my channel, click on that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon so that anytime I drop new video, you'll be the first person to get notified. Alright, now let's jump right into the tutorial video. So in this video, I'm making use of the 4.5 by 5 unit measurement, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is to click on this guy right here and then click on gradients. Then I'm going to increase this to 100%, right? And I'm going to change this color code to FF2400 and then click on OK. And then come here, add another color right to the middle and then change the color code to 511100 and then click on OK. Then I'm going to come to this side and then change the color code to 0C0100 and I'm going to click on OK. Now click on OK and then change the angle to 20 degrees like that, and then you're going to leave everything as it is right here and then click on OK. Alright, now the next I'm going to do is to create a new layer on top of that. So click on this guy to create a new layer and then let's come to the foreground color, and then this is the color code that we are going to use. We have FF2400. Click on OK and I'm going to grab my brush tool, right, and then with the soft round brush under the general brushes selected, I am going to apply this right here like that, right? Good. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to come to the blending option and then change it from normal to luminosity like that, and I'm going to increase the size this way. Click on this guy. Awesome. So the next I'm going to do is to grab my rectangle tool like that, and I'm going to draw a straight rectangular line like this, right? And then for the color, we are going to make use of this color right here, and I'm going to click on OK. So what I'm going to do is to just adjust it, increase the height like that. Click on this guy, then I'm going to adjust it this way and then put it right here like that, right? Click on this guy and I'm going to press on Ctrl+J to make a duplicate, and I'm going to move it up like this. So Ctrl+J, a duplicate, Ctrl+J. Now I'm going to select all the shapes that we've added and then press on Ctrl+J to make a duplicate. Then I'm going to right just so we can speed things up. I'm going to select everything, Ctrl+J, then I'm going to adjust it this way, right? So Ctrl+J again, then I'm going to make a duplicate of the last 4, right? So Ctrl+J and then Ctrl+J again. Okay, so I think this is quite okay for me. Alright, now the next thing is to select all the shapes. So press on the shift key and then select the first shape and then select the last one and then right click on it and then click on convert to smart object, right? Now with that layer selected, I want you to go to filter and then click on liquify effects. Now make sure that your size is set to 243 and then your pressure is at 61 and then the density is at 100%, and then this is what you are going to do. So you're just going to make these adjustments like this, right? So you need to take your time so you can get the exact desired effect that you want, kind of, you know, wavy effect, right? So awesome. Now if you think it's quite okay for you, then you click on OK. All right, now the next I'm going to do is to reduce the opacity to 50%. All right, and then I'm going to change the blending option from normal to darken, right? So we have this here like that. All right, now the reason why I use the darken as the blending option is that I want the effects, this effect, right, to only appear where there is light colors. So wherever there is dark color, you're not going to see it there. That is why we are not seeing it at this particular area. So if I should go back to my gradients fill and then change the angle, right, we're going to see that the effect as where there is light color, right? So if I change the direction of the angle, wherever there is light color, that is where you are going to see the shape effects, right? So I'm going to click on cancel. Good. Now the next I'm going to do is to group everything right here. So drag it to the folder icon here, and I'm going to rename this as the background layer. Good. And then I'm going to right click on it and then give it the red color. So wherever we see red color allocated to any layer, then we know that this particular layer belongs to the background layer folder, right? Just for the sake of organization. Right, and the next thing I'm going to do is to add my text, my first text. So I'm going to grab my type tool and I'm going to add my text. First, let's change the color to white and then increase the size to 24. We will change it later on. So I'm going to add my text, which is Rick, and then I'm going to change the fonts. So I have this font here, it is Adios Vertical. Now this particular font is available in the Ultimate Graphic Design Resource Pack, right? It's in the folder, it's in the font folder. So if you want to use this particular font, then you want to install it from the Ultimate Graphic Design Resource Pack. All right, now I'm going to increase the size this way and then put it right in the middle. So click on this three dots here and then click on canvas and then select this particular line right here, right? Now the text itself, the font itself is slim, right? Even if we add this effects here, it still look slim. So what I'm going to do is to make a duplicate. So Ctrl+J to make a duplicate. Then I'm going to shift the duplicate to the right side like this, so that the text will become a bit big, Then I'm going to merge the two texts like that. So right click and then click on rasterize type first, right click on it and then click on merge layers, right? Then you put it right in the middle. All right, then I'm going to add my next text. So we have Happy New. And the next I'm going to do is to head over to my resource files and then I'm going to drag and drop this image right here. Right, so this is the image that you are going to use. So first of all, I'm going to right click on it and then click on rasterize layer and then head over to the select tab right here and then click on subjects, and then we are going to wait for the subject to be selected so we can remove every other thing at the background, right? All right, now I'm going to add a layer mask and the background is gone just like that. I'm going to rasterize it. So we have, okay, let's convert to smart objects and then rasterize. So I'm going to put it right, adjust it this way, keep it somewhere here, put it right in the middle. Let's see. Okay, great. So this is where I want my image to be. All right, now I'm going to make a duplicate. So Ctrl+J to make a duplicate. Now we have two images here. All right, now the next I'm going to do is to add my rectangle shape. But before we do that, we are going to add a guide for the sake of accuracy. So I'm going to put the guide right here where we are going to put our shape, right? Okay, then I'm going to grab my rectangle tool and then draw a rectangular shape right on top of the guide where we set the guide, and then change the color to white, right? And the next I'm going to do is to move the shape that we've drawn right in between the two images, right? So we have one image on top and then one on the down with a shape in between them. Now I'm going to get rid of my guide like this, and then this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to lock the image at the back, which is this one. So I'm going to click on this guy to lock it. Then you're going to work on the one at the top, right? We have this image which is at the back, and then we also have this one which is in front. The one at the back, which is this one, is what we locked, and this is the one that we are going to work on. All right, so the next I'm going to do is to grab my polygonal lasso tool, and then let's come here, zoom in, right? Then right on top of the shape, you draw a straight line. You want to get rid of her leg, this particular leg here. Then I'm going to press on the delete key on my keyboard and then deselect, right? So you can actually go ahead and then make sure that everything is decent. Okay, so delete, deselect, let's see. All right, so I think this is quite okay, and this is exactly what we want to achieve, right? Great. Now I'm going to create a new layer and then move it right below the top image, which is this one, right? So this is our new layer. Then I'm going to change the foreground color to black, and then I'm going to grab my brush tool, and then we are going to add some shadows. Let me see. Okay, right, so I'm going to adjust this and then apply it here, and then I'm going to adjust this to this side for the shoe, and that's, and then you are going to all right, so I think this is quite okay. Now I'm going to reduce the opacity from 100% to 50%. Awesome. Now we are going to go back to our shape that we added, which is this one right here. I'm going to right click on it and then click on rasterize layer. Then I'm going to grab my polygonal lasso tool, and then right here, right? So you can actually go ahead and then use the guide to help you with the trimming, right? So, and then from here to this side, we are just going to cut it off. So delete, deselect, then we get rid of our guide, right? Great. Now the next I'm going to do is to add my text, right? So I'm just going to grab my type tool and then add my next text. Then you continue from there quickly, right? All right, now that we have our text in place, the next I'm going to do is to add our final touches, right? So this is what I'm going to do. Head over to your shape tools and then select the ellipse tool this time around, then draw a circle like that, put it right here, right? Great. Then you are going to rasterize it this way, and then grab the polygonal lasso tool. Then we are going to cut this area like that. So layer via cuts, then we cut off this part as well, right? Then layer via cuts. Then I'm going to get rid of the original shape, so leaving these two here. Awesome. All right, now I'm going to change the color, so double click on this guy and then go to color overlay, and then so this is the color code that we are using, FF8E00. Click on OK, and then for the second one, color overlay, and then this time around we are going to sample the color from the background. So this is the color code FF3100. Click on OK, click on OK. Then finally I'm going to add my last text, right? So we are going to put something here, then adjust it, And then beautiful, there we have our beautiful social media poster. Let me know what you think about this poster in the comment section. Until I come with another Photoshop tutorial, I'm out.